Hello and welcome back to my humble show. So this is something you may not know too much about if you're not in the social media circles such as X, which always marks the spot for this sort of thing. But maybe at this point in time, with so many days having gone by since the assassination of Charlie Kirk, you've heard something about conspiracy theories and claims that Israel was somehow behind the plot to take Charlie Kirk out and not out to a ball game. It doesn't make any sense if you ask me, but that hasn't stopped people from running with it. One of the first people who became more and more prominent over the last year or so because of his entry into the world of Joe Rogan and such. Ian Carroll. Yeah, so he was one of the first to throw this out there and see if it would stick. The claim, the blame. So I have a thread that I've put together about Ian Carroll and some of his claims. Of course, Candace Owens has wanted a piece of the anti-Israel pie. Well, she may very well want the entire pie at this point. Despite her being one of Charlie Kirk's best friends, it has not stopped her from treating it all very topically and, making it her next big thing. Because everything is her big thing these days. Well, Israel is her big thing these days. So, starting with these screenshots I've grabbed from Ian Carroll's account over the course of the last year plus. As you can see here, November 13 of 2024. Well, maybe not quite a year ago. Modern Israel has nothing to do with the Bible, he said. Okay. So, September 6th of this year, he said to Charlie Kirk, after Charlie Kirk said, Jesus defeated death so you can live. And you've dedicated your life to serving the people who killed him. Yeah. Can you see the contradiction there? On the one hand, he's saying, he being Ian Carroll, modern Israel has nothing to do with the Bible. And on the other hand, he's saying, you've dedicated your life to serving the people who killed him. I think you get it. And then after Charlie Kirk was indeed shot, Ian Carroll jumped online to say yesterday was a turning point for Israel-U.S. relations. Less than 24 hours and the internet already figured out who the most likely culprit was. He was their friend. He basically dedicated his life to them. And they murdered him in front of his family. Israel just shot themselves. Notice how quickly he jumped from most likely culprit, according to the internet, to Israel just shot themselves. They murdered him in front of his family, according to me. As in him. Wow, that escalated quickly, didn't it? So, a few days later, he's saying things like this. Notice the entire Israeli network going into overdrive to tell you they know more about Charlie than Candace. One of his best and oldest friends. Though I would clarify that he had separated himself a bit from her. Especially ideologically speaking, recently. Because, yes, Charlie Kirk was a bigger supporter of Israel than Candace Owens, to say the least. But the claims get increasingly confusing here because some people who are on board with this narrative are saying that Charlie Kirk was turning against Israel, or he was about to turn against Israel, or he was having meetings behind the scenes with this person or that person, and they were convincing him to turn against Israel, and therefore they got wind of this before everyone else and assassinated him. Okay. I mean, there are so many other people here in the States that would have sent a much more effective message. I mean, it seems to be Ian Carroll's claim that Israel wanted to make a statement with this. Okay, then why are they denying it? So they're trying to make a statement by doing this, but also they're denying it. But also their denying of it is proof that they did it. I don't really understand the thought process here, but I don't know that it's meant to be understood. It's just meant to be believed by the rest of the people who are on the bandwagon. Anyways, he continues. Simultaneously, they are putting on the absolute maximum fake display at the suggestion that Israel would ever assassinate someone. B-word, Israel is famous for assassinating people. Just a few months ago, the Zionists were so proud of how cunning Mossad's assassinations are when they use literal pagers to assassinate scores of people all across the Middle East. Okay, that's quite an exaggeration. Regardless of how you feel about that situation, that is quite an exaggeration. Yeah, they were targeting terrorists. According to them, whether or not you believe it, that's what they were doing. I don't know that Charlie Kirk would fall into that category in their book. So you're really playing quite the game of connect the dots here when you say that because that, then this. I'm pretty sure it would make more sense for them to target Ian Carroll and Candace Owens. Just gonna throw that out there, right? If they were going to do something like that. But no, Charlie Kirk? Really, Charlie Kirk, who's been nothing but supportive of Israel in large part. After all, according to Ian Carroll, he's made it his life's calling to serve them. He made it his life's calling to serve Israel. So now you Israel haters get to sit around freely claiming, without any fear of your own assassination, that they assassinated Charlie Kirk. So they're really cunning. Israel is really cunning, strategic, all that other stuff, but then they're really stupid at the same time, I guess. I don't know. So, with the scores of people all across the Middle East being injured, and in some cases killed with the pagers, was a very strategic attack. But then when it came to Charlie Kirk, they were like, you know what? Let's just hire a 22-year-old Reddit kid who's in a romantic relationship with a male who believes he's a female and is transitioning and is not very... I don't get it. But again, it's not meant to be gotten. It's just meant to be bought, I suppose. But who is buying this? Oh, the people on the bandwagon. That's right. Now I remember. None of that is to say there's proof Israel did it. I highlighted that. Which Candace was very clear about, because Ian Carroll and Candace Owens, they watch each other's shows and they just reinforce each other's predeterminations. They're like, aha, what she said. Aha, what he said. But interesting how he says, none of that is to say there's proof Israel did this, after he has already said that they did it, definitively speaking. But all the blood libel to suggest that Israel would ever harm someone, they think you're stupid, do they now? Well, you may be. But I think it's more of a grift that keeps on giving. So he was responding to someone here. This was the 16th, so more and more recent. Someone by the name of Amy Meck had said, "The only person I'm interested in hearing speak for Charlie Kirk is his wife. She shared his heart, his life, and their godly bond. She was his everything. For another woman to insert herself, pretending to know what Charlie would think or say while his wife is grieving, is gross. It's tacky, it's disrespectful, and it dishonors both Charlie's memory and his marriage." So yeah, Candace Owens has been recording her shows, putting pictures of Bibi Netanyahu's face and like this mysterious thumbnails and titles, claiming that she's exposing the secrets and she's just asking the questions about what is being hidden from us. It's a never-ending rabbit hole, bottomless pit of grifting and conspiracy theory. But yeah, Amy Meck was obviously taking issue with how Candace Owens has been handling this, acting like she's speaking from the perspective of someone who knows Charlie Kirk more than his wife. But then Ian Carroll responds, "Ever consider that Erica can't speak?" Even though she spoke for 16 or 17 minutes the other day. Very boldly. I'll give her that. I'll definitely give her that. Very bold. If anything happened to her, what would happen to her children? What Erica isn't saying is just as important as what she is saying. Who is she not condemning? What theories is she not condemning? So, if she doesn't say anything, that just reinforces your fascination with this even more. It's like when you ask someone, "When did you start abusing your spouse?" Oh, okay. So you're implying first and foremost that they did, right? You're skipping that part and going right to when did you start. That's the sort of gaslighting that's going on here, the sort of mental manipulation that's going on here. It's like if something is said, it's being talked about, and therefore it's worth talking about. And if it's not being talked about, then the fact that it's not being talked about means that it's worth talking about. Oh! Your brain is going to burst one of these days with so many foolish ideas, buddy. Yeah. This stuff boggles my brain and bothers it as well, so that's why I wanted to talk about it. So here's my my breakdown. Ian Carroll in a never-ending nutshell. I've predetermined conspiratorial nonsense. 1. Claim that modern Israel has nothing to do with the Bible. 2. Claim not only that modern Israel was responsible for the death of Jesus, but also that Charlie Kirk is serving the people who killed him. 3. Claim without evidence that Israel murdered him, Charlie, in front of his family. 4. Get people talking about the conspiracy theory and then act like people talking about it proves that you're onto something. Use the "why are you so defensive" trick on Israel when they deny it. Pretend that you're not technically claiming to have proof despite already definitively claiming they did it. And then talk about how they think you're stupid for not believing it to deflect from the fact that you're the one who thinks we're all stupid, apparently. 5. After using the best friend argument to treat Candace Owens as a corroborating witness, suggest that any silence of Charlie's own wife is just more evidence that what you're saying is true, while ignoring the fact that even Charlie's personal pastor is signaling for you, and namely Candace, to shut up, because it's not the time to try to get clicks. Oh, but what else is he signaling? To people like Ian and Candace, every whodunit means Jew did it. Their concern isn't reality, rather is reality. If you catch my drift. In other words, it's a grift. Ian is a dog down a rabbit hole. And don't get me started on Candace, who's treating her friend's death like it's a docuseries on Bridget McCrone. If you know, you know. Now, I gotta go. Don't want to spend any more time on this particular topic. It's not usually the sort of thing that I would talk about on YouTube, but the drama just gets a little bit too dramatic to ignore sometimes. And I can't take these people seriously at all. I used to like Candace Owens. Wasn't aware of Ian Carroll until more recently. I don't think anyone was. But now they're buds. And, yeah, they're just echoing each other's claims and conspiracies at this point, along with the claims and conspiracies of other like-minded individuals, other bandwagoners online. It's like they have their own version of Reddit on these social media platforms. Never-ending series of rabbit holes. One in particular here, Israel. And hey, I'm not even trying to get into the opinions, to the politics of all that, because that's something else which is never ending. The war, whatever you want to call it, which is going on over there. It's all very, very sad all around. But what happened to Charlie Kirk is also very sad. Call it recency bias, but it's one of those moments where you just say, too soon. Too soon. And that's what Charlie Kirk's pastor has been saying. He even put out a post pretty much directly addressing Candace Owens. And he recorded a video where he was talking about how it's time to mourn for the family, not time to try to get clicks. And I certainly hope that I don't come across as someone who is trying to do that. Actually, I was trying my best to get my show and my channels going again after the birth of our first child. I was having a very difficult time, but I've been inspired by Charlie Kirk. Sometimes you never know what you got until it's gone, and I guess I don't mean that in the way that it's sometimes meant, because I don't know, I just watched a ton of videos of him boldly sharing his faith and, sure, his politics, you name it, debating with people who disagreed with him. The least I can do is get behind a microphone as a no-name here on my personal YouTube channel and share some thoughts. But feel free to disagree with me. Let me know in the comments below what you think, what you know. Be inspired. Peace.